this is a dream role for me for basically my whole performing career and beyond, you know. And I think it is for a lot of, you know, male performers. It's just such an iconic show. It's such an iconic role. It's such an amazing sing. It's such a complex acting role. And I'm just having the time of my life. I'm so glad it's happened.
And Kelly, how is it for you having a new partner on stage?
It's been amazing. Yeah, I mean, Josh and I were actually friends before he joined. We did actually go through some of the material as well together when he was auditioning. So it's actually just really quite special being able to do this with your friend because, you know, in the past I have made such great friends with my Phantoms, but already being friends and coming into it's been lovely.
Yeah, we talk about that a bit. It's like when you're rehearsing with someone that you've never met, you have to get through sort of 2 lines of communication, and when you're already friends with someone, it's you can go straight into trying things out and trusting each other. And I think what's been really great about this and what I'm so appreciative with Kelly is that she hasn't been like, this is the way it is, you know, work around these parameters. It's like, this is new for me too. I've really enjoyed that, and we've created something together. Even though Kelly's done this show so many times, she's been so open to that.
And was it for both of you, you touched upon it there, that it's a dream role, but actually doing it in the West End, is that something that, you know, would you ever look back to your younger days and think that that's going to happen, or is that a dream?
I mean, I'm from Melbourne, Australia. It's so far away from my normal life. I've always seen it as this sort of mecca, this golden crown in the music theatre landscape, and it has been just that, a dream that I can put out there and hope and wish and pray for, but to actually be living it, no, I'm obviously still pinching myself like every day. I'm really just very grateful for the opportunity. Yeah.
Now, Kelly, you were quite a fan of the show before you got involved.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, I mean, you asked like whether it was going to be my dream or something. I had birthday cakes of Phantom of the Opera. Like, people think this is when I was like 6. This was like when I was 18. And I actually have a Facebook status that said, oh, wouldn't it be so cool if one day I could play Christine Daae? And, you know, I was so kind of blasé about that stuff. And although I trained, you know, as a ballet dancer and then I trained as an opera singer, I think anything on the West End, especially like Phantom and Christine, just feels so kind of out of reach. And there was kind of no way that I was ever going to get to that point. So it was a dream, but it wasn't until I got the role and I really looked back on all those little things, like the cake and the statuses and the singing the songs at different things. That
Didn't you make your dad play Phantom in the living room?
Yeah, so like every day after dinner, I would make my dad go through to another room, and I had like an Andrew Lloyd Webber like backing track book, and I would put on All I Ask of You, and I would make him sing it with me every single night, and he went for it. Like, my dad can't sing.
Dad.
Like, I love you, Dad, but he can't sing. But he like went for it. So he was probably a bit heartbroken when I did sing it on theEst End for the first time. I know he
wasn't there. He wasn't there to be on stage.
He was like, she doesn't need me anymore.
I'm meant to be up there.
Yeah.
I'm so glad my parents have never tried to sing anything with me. Yeah, totally toned it.
What is it about Phantom of the Opera that you think has sort of made it last the test of time? Because it's going into its 34th year in the West End. That's incredible. Yeah,
it's astonishing. I think first and foremost, it is the greatest love story that I believe has ever been told in a musical. That love triangle is between Phantom, Raoul and Christine is so unique and so filled with emotion. We're not dealing with any sort of pedestrian level stuff here. Everything is so heightened and so raw and so real, and there's an intensity to that you can't help but be on the front of your seat. So I think audiences really appreciate that. And then it's that score, like it is an absolute masterpiece. You know, Music of the Night, Wishing You Were Somehow Here Again. For me, my favourite moment is the final lair. because it brings in all the musical elements that we've heard together in this stroke of genius, and then with the intensity of the storyline. So for me, that's what it is.
And Kelly, for you, is there a scene or a moment which you really connect with, and that is your favourite to do night after night?
I think my favourite to do is the wishing you were somehow here again moment, but not just because it's such an epic song. I think we call it the turning point for her, where she's going from kind of girl to woman, and there's even like just the iconic bit when she turns around and swishes that cape, and that's a kind of moment of her strength, and that's where I feel most connected to her, where she's like, you know, she can't take any more of it. So, and honestly, every single night I'm like, yes, here we go.
And then the following scene, I'm there to just try and crush her back to childhood, just to manipulate her back to control her.
Classic
And then also the other element I think is just the spectacle of it. It's such a beautiful, visceral experience. The visual of that show, you know, I always come back to the masquerade scene, like those staircases, those costumes are just... When I first went backstage and got to see everyone in costume, I was just blown away. The detail of everything, and how different every costume is, but how lavish. There's just no expense spared on it. It's incredible.
No, the costumes are stunning, but I imagine that are they quite heavy to wear?
Yeah, so I have my gala skirt, which I sing Think of Me in. Just the skirt is 7 kilos.
Wow.
And the rest of the dresses are extremely heavy. I mean, when I started, the wedding dress in the final layer literally gave me back problems, because I was just kind of holding all my weight backwards, because I mean they're period, so you have the bustle, and it's all corseted, everything about it. But the wardrobe department, the costume department at Phantom are insane. Like, my dresser is amazing. She's in every single Tuesday doing maintenance, like the tiny like sequence. If anything's fallen off, it will be like immaculate. Yeah.
And what's it like for you both having to perform? How many shows a week do you do?
I do
8 shows. Yeah.
That's a huge strain physically and also on your voice. How do you guys make sure that kind of night after night you're able to bring that emotion and do it with good health?
Yeah, I think there's not enough sort of talked about the athleticism that goes into performing 8 times a week, and the things that as an artist you do to get right for that show, and immediately post-show. It is an athletic craft in a way.
It's a muscle.
And you've got to treat it with that. So lots of rest, lots of sleep for me, hydration, so heaps of water, steam the voice, massage the voice, eat really well, yoga, meditation. They're sort of my things. I mean, it's different for every artist, but you have to find what works for you and what keeps you out there on stage 8 shows a week and healthy.
Yeah. Well, thank you both so much for coming in. It's been an absolute pleasure and letting us